Well, good afternoon, everybody. I'm out here in the sunroom taking a look at everything. Puppies are taking a nap in the sunshine. We have a beautiful, beautiful day here in Alabama. I know I haven't been on a lot lately. We've been busy, and we're just all kind of healing. I don't know how else to describe it. Let me pop you on the tripod here for just a second, and it'll hold you still a little bit better. You know, I think the passion for growing that I have, I don't think, I know where I got that from. I got that from my father. I can remember as a little tiny kid up in Indiana. The house we lived in was a new construction, and it was on a new piece of property that had been cleared. And for some reason, they cut all the trees down back then. You know, they wouldn't leave any trees on the property, so there was not a tree in the yard. Anyway, there was woods all around us though, and I remember with shovels in our hands going into the woods with my father as a little kid, and he would point out which trees he wanted, and he would explain that this one was an oak tree, or this was a maple tree, or these were pine trees, or whatever, and how they were going to grow, and he would tell you a few things like that. My father was not a gardener or a farmer or anything. He was a businessman. I think he had learned that from his father, my grandfather. I'm named after my father, and we look very similar too. I'm named after my grandfather as well. He's named after him as well, so I'm happy and proud to carry their name. But that's where I got my interest in growing plants and in growing. Now my father's 92 years old now, and my mother's 85. They live 1,000 miles away, and I haven't seen them in 3.5, almost 4 years because of my failing health and because of their failing health. We haven't been able to. Last time we saw each other, we knew that was probably going to happen, and we kind of said our goodbyes in that way. Even though we talk on the phone often, it's still not the same as being able to see somebody, put your arms around them and talk to them and hold them. It's just, and look into their face, you know, it's just different. Anyway, long story short, I guess. One thing led to another, one thing led to another, and a couple of weeks before this past Christmas, just a few months ago, my mother and father moved to Alabama. Matter of fact, for the first time in 40 plus years, my mother and father are 10 miles down the road from me. It's truly been a gift, absolute gift. Excuse me. Sorry about that. It's truly been a gift, something I never ever thought would ever happen in my wildest dreams, that I never thought I'd get to see them again, much less have them 10 miles down the road from my house. Anyway, we've no sooner gotten Jan's mother, who passed away a couple of weeks ago, we've no sooner got her situated and things have settled back down and we're dealing with our grief from that, when my father, who's only been here for a few weeks, had a massive heart attack and passed away. He was here 1 minute and gone the next. He went very, very quickly. And he was, that's how he wanted to go. But it's been heartbreaking because I had it in my grasp again, and then it got pulled away again. That's how part of me feels. But at the same time, it's hard to almost be sad sometimes because it was such a gift to be able to see them again. And my mother is still here. My father's gone home, but my mother is still here, you know, with us. So the blessings will continue. But again, I've just been dealing with that. It's been a lot on us the last couple of months, and I'm not complaining. Oh, it can get worse in a heartbeat. So I'm not complaining at all. I'm just explaining. Again, I don't have any sadness. I mean, I do, but the joy and the gift of getting to see them again and having my mother still here, is knowing that she's nearby, is helping me get through my sadness and my grief. And I'm just very grateful for it. Anyway, I wanted to share that with everybody today because that kind of explains why I haven't been on a lot. And it's also with Jan in her 3rd week of radiation. She still has 3 more weeks to go. She's still, getting over, she's still healing herself from her mother passing, and now my father, who she was very close to, also has passed, and it's been hard for her as well. Everybody has to deal with this type of stuff, and we're dealing with it as well, and it's just something we're having to go through right now. Again, I'm not complaining, just explaining. But she's 3 weeks into her 6 weeks treatment of radiation. She's still trying to get her strength back from her chemo. Her chest is still healing from her surgery, but she feels good. She's getting her strength back. Her hair is starting to grow out a little tiny bit. She's got a little bit of fuzz on top of her head. She's just beautiful as always. But we're, like I said at the beginning of the video, we're just healing right now. We're just healing. It's going to take a while to absorb and to work out. Anyway, like I said before, the plants are doing wonderful. They're doing great. They're just still blooming, and just the ones that aren't blooming are growing. And I've got lots of new canes and new buds and new shoots and lots of new roots and stuff coming out. I need to start taking the plants outside and putting them on the workbench and show everybody and talk to everybody. And there's still a lot I would love to discuss about nutrition. Still lots and lots we can talk about. And I've got a few repots that I need to do, and a few plants that need to be, moved around, and a few things like that. So plenty to do. Just I'm trying to find the time to do it. And with Jan's radiation right now, and again I'm just explaining things. Her radiation, we were supposed to be getting at one hospital. It's been changed to another location. That is a distance away from us, a pretty good distance away. It's against traffic as well, and it also is at the worst time of the day because it's at rush hour traffic time is when our appointments are. So it's difficult getting in, it's difficult getting out, and it seems to occupy a better part of the afternoon, and has really kind of slowed things down here as well. And until that's over with in the next 3 weeks, we're not going to really get a break or some breathing room. So I hope you all understand. But just a couple more weeks and we'll have this behind us hopefully, and we can move forward and start looking forward to spring. Remember, winter solstice was here December 21st, 22nd. So we've had a couple of months already of well, since winter solstice, every day has gotten a little bit longer, and we've got a little bit more intense light. Every day it gets a tiny little bit more intense, so we've already had quite a bit of environmental conditions that have changed, and that is triggering hormones already as we speak. The plants are already starting to get triggered. One of my biggest goals, and it's something people don't talk about a lot as their goals, is one of my biggest goals with these plants is to make sure that when they go back outside here in a couple of months, that they're as big as they were when they came inside in the spring or bigger. I want to make sure that they haven't eaten any canes or bulbs or leaves or lost roots or lost spikes. I want to make sure they haven't reabsorbed part of their self or senesced part of their self or anything died off. I want to make sure that everything that has grown, they've maintained. I want to make sure that I'm replacing the energy that they're using right now. It's something to think about. The plants are using a lot of energy based on how they're growing. Well, they might be using a lot of energy, they may not. It depends on how they're growing. Look at your individual plants. Those that are growing strong and have new shoots and new canes and bulbs and leaves and stuff, those all need to be fed. And they need to be fed according to the environmental conditions. And as day length increases, we need to up our feed. We also need to increase our nitrogen levels as well. And with your nitrogen levels, you have to increase your calcium. Lots to think about, lots to think about. So, anyway, let me pop you off for just a second. Maybe we can look around here. Try not to wake up the boys. Although they look pretty comfortable. Anyway, I noticed the pitcher plant has a big bloom spike on it. That's really unique looking. And the Thanksgiving cactus is confused and has put out one blossom on this side. Very odd. But I'll take it any day. Anyway, lots and lots of blooms still, and everybody has seen most of these blooms. They're just blooming harder right now, and The rest of the spikes have opened up. I've just truly enjoyed all this. It's just been incredible. It really, really has. I've really enjoyed all these beautiful blooms, and I can't wait to get the plants back outside for grow season, and see how big and how strong I can get them for to do this again next fall, and hopefully be around to see this again. I need to get the plants out and start showing all the growths on them and all the beautiful root growth on them, and all the new shoots and pieces that are coming out and growing. Look at all the new growths popping out. But just beautiful. That's Foul Kaleidoscope. What a beautiful flower. And one flower on the back is starting to fold up, but the rest of it's doing beautiful. Just doing great. Another little mini foul down here blooming like crazy. Another spike. Beautiful, beautiful blooms. This big red blossom here is, or clump of blossoms is Phalaenopsis Surf Song. Just a beautiful one. One of my favorites. I realize now why I picked this one out. And just beautiful, beautiful blooms. Beautiful color on this one. Another real pretty one. This one is doing great. Lots of blossoms on it, lots of spikes just coming out, arching out all over. This one is blooming like crazy. I noticed the Paphiopedilum has a bud spike coming out of its new growth, and it looks like it has either a secondary spike down below it, and I'm not sure if they do that. This is the only one I've ever owned, and I haven't had it since September. But it's either another spike coming out, or it has another bud attached to the spike that's coming out now. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they do that either. But it's doing beautiful, growing, growing, growing. This is the one foul I have that's giving me a hard time. I've got a couple that I'm probably going to repot, but this one's actually dropping a leaf. But when I started looking at this plant, I started getting nervous about nutrition, and I started looking at it, and I realized, well, it's not an upper leaf and it's not a lower leaf, so that would kind of knock out immobile nutrients and mobile nutrient kind of argument. I was like, why would it be a middle leaf? And I started looking at it, and actually what happened was the flower spikes that came out actually broke through the leaf stem itself and damaged the leaf as they came out as it sent its own flower spikes out. It damaged its own leaf and split the stem down there, so that's why that leaf has died back. But that particular plant, it's top heavy. It got much bigger than I expected it to. It needs much, much more root mass for the size of it too, but I need to get that one repotted because it keeps falling over too. So we need to get it in a larger pot. So lots to do, lots and lots to do. But just a quick look again. I just wanted to say hello. I know I haven't been on much, and I apologize. I'll be on more in a few weeks. Got to get this cancer treatment behind us so we can concentrate on living again. Anyway, thank you so much for all the comments, all the thoughts, the prayers. It's just overwhelming and humbling to read all the wonderful comments and all the wonderful words everybody gives us or sends to us. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you so very, very much. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.